like glowing. If you're getting them, I'm getting them. Hi, hello, and welcome to The Bookish Life.
I'm Jess.
And I'm Tori, and I don't know where my phone is. Oh, just kidding. In today's episode, we're going to talk about our favorite books so far this year. We've read a lot of good books, and we want to talk about them. I've had like a pretty good reading year so far.
I feel like March was so bad for everybody, but...
Yeah, March was really bad. I don't think I had one 5-star read.
I had 2 out of the 20 books I read were 5 stars.
I had 1, and it was just because it was a reread. But I don't really count those as like new.
Yeah.
You know? But I've read a mix of like different
Well,
genres.
how do we want to do this? Like by genre, by like new or old authors, by like to us?
Do you want to do it by month?
We can.
Okay,
Should we say
so
like our top 2 per month or?
Yeah, do top 2 per month. Okay, so
Okay.
January, what was your top 2?
I don't know. January had so many good releases.
I know. I just looked at this. I was like, I have like 5 I want to talk about.
I know. Same.
Well,
Okay, we're going to overlap on probably 4 of these.
Yes. Okay, we're not counting House of Flame and Shadow because we did a whole podcast episode about that, and you guys know we loved it.
Okay, fair.
What was that?
We just want to talk about it.
Oh my god, we already talked about it. We already did a whole podcast episode.
You're fine.
You go first.
Another one, probably Serpentine Valentine by Gianna Darling. Yeah. Her first sapphic. You gave that 5 stars, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It was really good. It was very intense. I mean, like huge trigger warnings for sexual assault because she's assaulted and no one believes her. And then she wants to get revenge on the university president by seducing her daughter. And they fall in love. Oh my God, it was so good. And then the other one. Oh,
Ashes
did you read
of
this
You?
in January? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You read that in January? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can't believe that we
Ashes
read that
of
in
You?
January.
I know. I felt like that
Oh
was
my
last year, but
God.
it wasn't. But that is the 5th book in the Lost and Found series, the end of an era.
Your first release with her, working for her. So.
That was crazy. That was a
Welcome
crazy
to the
release.
chaos.
Yeah, it was like I stepped in like 2 weeks before the release. A week
Like
before.
a week before release is when Tori
Yeah.
came onto the team. So it was a lot of scrambling and like
I was
learning
I
as
don't
you go.
understand.
Because we
Yeah.
didn't have time to like.
I was asking a ton of questions.
Yeah. I mean, but we made it. So
Yeah, it was great.
yeah. Okay,
And
that's
Fragile's-
3.
Fragile's going to be even better. Okay, I will say for me, I read One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig, and that's like gothic.
That
horror,
put you
gothic?
into your like gothic phase you had going on in the beginning of the year.
I did.
Yeah.
I loved that duet. I loved it. It was really good.
That's when I read Powerless. I read that as my 5th book of the year, and I was like the favorite of the year. So good. Oh, and I just read the novella, and it was so good too.
Yeah,
The new book
I mean,
comes out.
When did that one
July.
come out? Oh,
July. There's 2 others that I really loved this month. One of them I think you read and loved.
What?
Loving Romeo.
Yeah, I gave that one 5 stars. Love that one.
Yeah.
Boxer, Enemies to Lovers, Small Town.
Yeah. We didn't love book 2 as much, but book 1 really like set the bar high for the series.
Yep. Loved that one. Still think about that book, actually.
And the Found Family is so good. Like their little group chat with the friends.
Yes.
I
Found
love
Family is
authors
my
who
favorite
can do
part.
who do a really cute group chat are the best. Yeah. And the other one you would have read. I don't know if you read this in January, but Twilight of Embers. Yeah.
I did. I gave that one 5 stars.
Yeah. People submitted that in my what are your favorite books of the year so far? I feel like there's like a Why Choose huge fan base.
Boom.
And
Yeah.
love that. And it's put me in such a Why Choose mood. Okay, but that's it.
I had The Notorious Lord Knightley by Lorraine Heath. I read that in January.
I read that in February.
Yeah, that was a 5-star read. That was like
That
the
was
one
so good.
historical, that I read. That I
Okay,
was like,
so
that I
I'm
loved.
re-listening to Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, and it's Rosalind Landor as the narrator, and I'm like, it's bringing me back to like 2021 when all I would listen to was her books, and kind of makes me want to read more historicals. But I have so many other books to read. Like I want to read fantasy.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah. Like I was thinking about getting rid of some of my historicals, or at least moving some of them, because I'm
No.
like, I want this to be like all not books like this where it's like stacked. You can't see it. You can't see it. But
No.
like they can see it. I don't know.
I love my historicals. I need to read more.
I like how we said, oh, we're just going to pick 2 each. That was like 6.
But I have so many to talk. I mean, I read Requiem that month too. And that was my
did you?
read. But yeah.
Okay. I am glad you like that one.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting the twist.
Oh, yeah, right. What about for February though?
I have a lot of 5-star reads.
I think I only have
Well, I have one favorite for sure.
I only have 1 5-star in February.
What was it?
The Woman.
Oh, did you know? So that was in the top 5 when Ashes of Eve released. It is still in the top 5 on Amazon.
It is a really good book.
A month. Well, not even a month. Like 3 months later.
Yeah.
Why is The Women still? It's not top 5, top 10. That is insane.
It's such a good book.
I mean, I
told you
have it
I know, in your stacks.
right here. Yeah.
I know. You need to read
I gotta
it.
read it. But am I gonna cry? Because I don't like crying.
I don't think you'd cry. No. Yeah, no, The Woman was my only 5-star. And I love that book. And I think I read it early on in February. So like nothing lived up to that 5-star vibes.
True. Well, that's when I read Crown of Midnight and was saying I'm gonna finish Sarah J. Maas. That was February. But Notorious Lord Knightley, The Devil in the Deep Blue Sea by Elizabeth O'Rourke. So angsty. 5 stars for sure. And I also read Unsteady that month. So that one was really good. Did you read that last year?
I read it in like December or November last year.
Oh, okay.
It like squeezed in to like my top, because usually by November, middle into November, I know what my top reads of the year are. And that one like squeezed right in. I was like, oh no, this has to go on that list.
See, at the end of the year, you're always reading, like rereading, and I'm just reading Christmas romances that I know are not going to be good. That I still just like put me in the Christmas mood.
I've read some of those, and I know they're not going to be, well, I don't know. 'Tis the Season for Revenge in 2022.
They'll surprise you, yeah.
That one really surprised me, but like the Christmas romances I read this past year, it was like, okay. But no, that one really swooped in, took a top spot for me.
Oh, this is when we went on our trip together.
In February?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the Road of Bones. I also read Icebound by Meredith Trapp, which I loved. Hockey romance.
Did you give that 5 stars?
I did.
Okay.
But I'm worried because I don't know if you'll like love it as much as I did. But we'll see. Through the Glen by Samantha Young, I also read and gave 5 stars. The whole series I really love. So third one wasn't my favorite, but no, wait, the second one.
Through the Glen is the third one.
Okay, then the second one wasn't my favorite. There was one that I think I gave like 3.5, and then all the rest I've given 5 stars in that series. So
Skies Over, is it Caledonia?
Caledonia?
The chickens, and that got me.
Because like
that got me in that book.
So small town, because she's just like, I just love waking up on my farm with my chickens and like living the small town life.
When the chicken part came up, okay, that really got me. I was like, shit's about to get real in this fucking book, and I don't know how I feel about it, okay? Like, the chickens made me emotional, okay?
Yeah.
I'll just say that.
This one, though, in Through the Glen, she's a, like, really famous crime writer, but, like, no one really knows that she's the author.
Is that her sister?
Like, super shy. That's his cousin.
Oh, okay.
So her sister got the first book. So when she talked about, like, she was in that shooting... You remember that? That's the first book.
Okay, that's why
I think her sister is book 2.
That's why I didn't give it 5 stars, because the first like 25% of the book she was introducing all these characters because she was going back to Scotland, and I was a little bit like confused, so I wasn't focusing on the romance and how her attraction to him was.
Everybody in the series.
Oh yeah. So I was like trying to like get the names right and all this stuff like that. I was like, there was a shooting, there was what is in the series? Like, what is happening? But if I would have read them in order, it would have been a 5-star read.
The next one, Where We Belong by Ashley Munoz. Did you give that 5 stars?
I haven't read it yet.
That's book 2.
Oh no, I gave that like 3.5. Too much enemies to lovers, and I was like, dude, he's an asshole for no fucking reason. The reason didn't make sense to me. That's my problem with enemies to lovers, though.
He had such a traumatic past that he's like, I gotta push her away because I'm not going to repeat my past.
self-reflecting a little bit.
He's not mature enough to do that.
Then no.
It's just such a good like no one's writing like that motorcycle romance.
I know.
I mean, maybe there are people, but like it's not as big as it used to be, and I just really like it.
Well, that's why I'm excited for the third book, the purple cover, where we promise.
Yeah, but like ever since you pointed out like the flashback thing, that one, the flashbacks were a little too much for me. But I still gave it. I still really liked it. I think it 4.5 stars. But
okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
What about?
Oh, and then the Fake Mate by Lana Ferguson, I gave 5 stars.
Oh, people have opinions about that book.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, like the nodding part. If that's Omegaverse, if it's not Omegaverse.
Why does it matter?
I don't know. I just saw that going around on TikTok about that book. Like,
Okay.
do people consider it like a Omegaverse? And I was like, no,
it doesn't
because
matter.
Omegaverse usually
just let
is
the
like,
book be.
yeah, I don't know. It was very confusing.
Why
I didn't get the conversation.
I mean, because it came out like around Bride too, and I know people were talking about that, but like
I wouldn't consider that Omegaverse because I've read Omegaverse, but people are considering Bride Omegaverse, and I was hella confused. I was like, that is not what Omegaverse is. I don't know.
But like the Fake Mate has like alphas and betas and omegas and nodding, and I thought that's Omegaverse.
That is.
Yeah.
I would consider that, but the Bride isn't.
No, but you said people are mad about the Fake Mate.
Yeah, like whether it's not. And I don't. Terms are weird. People have their own opinions about them.
Okay. I just really like the hero. He just got like really into her.
Aww.
Yeah. He's like, I just need to smell her.
Okay.
Because he missed her.
Doesn't she have another book coming out?
Yeah, she's a hockey one, and then she has a Loch Ness Monster one. So I'm excited.
That's a no. That's a negative for me. So sorry.
I don't know if it's like monster, but it has to do with the Loch Ness Monster.
Okay.
She's writing a lot. Okay. That's everything for me in February.
Yeah, like I said, I only had that one.
I did read the Book of Azrael, and I really liked it, but I didn't give it a full 5 stars.
I did read He's Not My Type by Megan Quinn. I gave that 4.5 stars. That was my next like fun. What about for March?
If
March I didn't have.
Me?
No, fuck that book.
Tori and I love that book.
I had a really bad time with that book and A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. Not Yanagihara.
No.
Yanagihara, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I was going through all the times I've said it in my head, and I was like, this is the right one. That one I DNF. Sorry. If you like that book, A Little Life, more power to you, but that is not, oof.
No.
That's a hard no book.
Like, what is the point of that book?
To be sad and for people to die in a horrible way. Just say it was bad. Just saying it was bad. Anyway, this is the one I didn't have any 5 stars in this month besides my reread of Unsteady.
That's sad. I had 2 and a 4.5.
What was your 2?
The Search by Nora Roberts. Oh my gosh, one of my new favorite Nora Roberts books. She's a dog trainer, and listen,
I remember you telling me this.
She had a fiance, and first of all, she was kidnapped by a serial killer, but she survived and got away. So the serial killer got mad that she survived and tracked her down and murdered her fiance and her fiance's dog. Okay, so it's already very traumatizing. So she's like, I'm never going to be a victim again. So now she trains dogs, and her dogs protect her. And so then the hero, she lives on an island. The hero moves onto the island, and he gets a puppy that he names Jaws because it just like eats everything. And he's like, literally, I'll pay you $1 million. Can you please help me like train this dog? And she doesn't take $1 million, but she helps train the dog, and then they fall in love. And then the serial killer comes back, but her serial killer's in jail. So they're like, how is he back when he's in jail? Is it the wrong person? Is it a copycat? It was so good.
Why does this sound like a
so
Catherine Cowles book?
Because of romantic suspense.
That's
and
funny.
I love it.
Okay, that does sound a little intriguing. I was also having a conversation with Rebecca during our meeting about like what we're reading and stuff like that. And she talked about Divine Rivals. She read it for her book club like 2 months ago. And I was like, oh, I love Divine Rivals. Jess hated it, but I love historical fiction. And the way I feel about historical fiction is how she feels about romantic suspense. It is not my cup of tea. Like Nora Roberts, hard no. She's like, yeah, I can't do Nora Roberts. There's not enough kissing. That's what I tell Catherine.
Oh, I mean, the romance is very like minimal in Nora Roberts books. Yeah.
But it's like that in historical fiction. There's like, it's barely there, and it's just enough for me to like it. We've already had that conversation. What was your other 5 star?
Check and Mate by Allie Hazelwood. I think it's just because nothing else was good, and that just like was so cute.
It was like a sweet tooth, like,
yes,
so sweet.
I was like, I'm actually liking something I'm reading right now. Like, this is good.
Yeah. My last read of the month, which was The Brightest Light of Sunshine.
Oh yeah, I've seen more people reading that too.
Yeah, I gave that 4.5 stars. It wasn't like perfect because I think that's like one of the first books that she's published. So I could tell, like, I think so.
Okay. Have you read the second one?
Yeah.
So I saw someone doing a vlog and they're like, the second book's about her 4-year-old sister.
His 4-year-old sister, yes.
So for whatever. So like, is there a huge time jump?
Yeah. So in the first book, he's like in his 30s and the heroine's in her 20s. So there's an age gap there. And then the second book, like in the first book, she's 4 years old. And in the second book, she's 20 or no, she's 22 or 23. So it's a huge time jump. So like, and you see
like the 50.
You see him, yeah. But the heroine from the first book is 30 something. It's supposed to represent like her parents, like her brother raised her. Yeah. Like that was her parent growing up. So it's supposed to, like, you know, it's like when you have a second book, it's like their kid.
Yeah. So it's just like already kind of like second gen, but
yeah. Yeah. And it shows like the relationship between like their kid and her, and how like even though she's an aunt, she has like
more like siblings.
Yeah. And then I think the next book is the third book that's coming out later. I think it's the daughter of the first book, the actual daughter.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I just thought I really like her writing. It's very it's not super flowery, so it's not like Gianna writing, you know, or like Chloe Walsh writing, but it is like the day-to-day. You get looped into what the characters are doing, you get attached to the characters and their life and stuff like that. So yeah, they're like really good reads, but none of them, the second book was 4 stars for me when I read it in April.
So what was the first one?
4.5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I could definitely tell like she has really good writing. Yeah, on Goodreads they say that she doesn't have anything else published.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like I can see the like where she could go as a writer, and I'm interested in that. Yeah.
Interesting. I'll have to try her out and then steal my special edition back from you.
Like I said, once you read that book, if you like it, I will give you the special edition back.
Okay.
But until you read the book, and I say until,
like a year from now, I'll finally read it. I'm like, hey,
I want that back. That's fine. I will give it back to you.
Okay, April. It was a good reading.
I had 9 5-stars in April.
And you didn't read? Didn't you read like 12 books?
I read 16.
Oh, okay. I had 6 5-star reads.
Okay.
I think we have a few the same.
Yeah. So the first one I read, technically, I read in April that was a 5-star, was Fragile Sanctuary. Because I read it at the beginning of the month.
Oh, did you?
And I loved it. And then I reread it like a second time at the end of April, just because I listened to it again when I didn't have anything to listen to. I was like, I just want to pop this in.
So good.
Yeah. What was yours? What was the one of yours?
My first one was Rope the Moon by Ava Hunter, which is a small town second chance. I love second chance. And she's pregnant with her ex's baby, and her ex is abusive, and that's who she's running away from. And so she like, oh my God, just the opening scene. She's going home, and then she breaks down like 8 hours outside of town. She calls her dad, who she doesn't know is dying of cancer. And she's like, can you come get me? And like the guy that she used to be with that nobody knew was like a secret fling that they had, hears it. He literally like drives the 8 hours. And he's like, she's like, you came. And he's like, you called. And it was just, and there's this like crazy suspense at the end. So
would I like it?
I think so. I mean, like, it's not like crazy suspense, but it was like a twist. And I was like, whoa. So,
but is like the pregnancy a forefront? You know, is it very pregnancy?
I mean, kind of, because she's worried that the baby will be a boy and like kind of take after the dad who's abusive, or a daughter, and she'll have to like protect it from abuse in the world. And she's like having a hard time like not caring about the pregnancy, but like facing the reality that she's having a child. She's like kind of trying to ignore it. And then he's like all in, like, I'm there for you, and the baby will be mine. And
okay, I do like that. I like in Reckless, where the hero, once he finds out, he's like all in. That made me tear up. I still think about that sometimes in Reckless.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe. Just another fucking book to add to my literal endless TBR.
You didn't even read book 1 either, but I told you might not like
me.
it. Yeah.
So that's why I was like, ugh,
yeah.
I'm going to try that one. The next 5-star I had was Glow of the Everflame by Penn Cole.
Is that book 2?
Yes.
Yeah, because book 1's Spark, right?
Yeah, I gave that one 4 stars. Like, it was a good, slow.
Everybody loves book 2.
Yeah, it was so good. But I stopped because I'm scared to read book 3.
Don't people not love book 3?
Yeah, Christy didn't like it. I was like, ooh, and it's 1,000 pages. And I was like, ooh.
Okay, so I was surprised how short book 1 is. It's like not even 400 pages.
Oh, yeah. She gets you. She ropes you in with that, and then they get bigger and bigger. Like, damn it.
I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
My next one is one of your 5-star reads. I'm pretty sure. Did you read this one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez.
I gave that 4 stars.
Oh my God. That one was, I listened to it in literally a day. I had to go to Cleveland like 3 different times in April. So I was just like popping in. It's 2 hours there, 2 hours back. So I can listen to a majority of an audiobook at 3 times speed. I was obsessed with this book. But Abby Jimenez's books are so good. So, and have you read the other ones though? Like Part of Your World and Yours Truly? Okay,
I have.
So did you get the references?
No, I didn't pick those up. Oh, for Yours Truly, I did. Part of Your World wasn't my favorite.
Where the age gap.
Listen, I love her heroes. I love how they can communicate. I love how swoon-worthy. They're amazing. I love them. But I always have something that irks me about the heroine. I don't know why. They will say one thing out of anger or out of frustration.
Too judgy.
And I know
the female character and having too high of expectations for them when you don't feel the same way about the male main character.
I know. I am a hypocrite. I know this. I've said this in my videos when I talk about this book. So like that was my one thing. Is like most of the book it was fine, and then she said something towards the middle, and I was like, why are you so fucking mean? That was mean. That was uncalled for. And then it just stuck with me because she never apologized for it. And it made me mad. Sorry.
Agreed to disagree.
Yeah. Burnout by Rebecca Jinchak. That was another one. I read it probably in March, but I probably read it again in April with how many times I was going through that book.
That was a 4.5 for me. I did like it.
Yeah. I love it. It was so cute. What was your next one?
Oh, I have another one. It hit it. Wild Love by Elsie Silver.
That's my next
This month was just stacked full of good releases, let me tell you, because Wild Love was so good.
It was
what is that?
I was gonna start. I don't know. I'm trying to like get my shit together. Some people say, I've seen reviews where they think that Bloom like changed Elsie Silver's writing, and I wholeheartedly, with my whole ass, disagree with that.
What do you mean they changed her writing?
The way you know how I said for Chloe Walsh, which for Taming 7 I did read in April, and that was another 5-star, is that you can tell where they edited down some of her writing just because she writes anything and everything. Like that book could have been easily 400 pages. People were saying like same thing where, oh, this author got picked up and they changed her writing and it changed the flow and this and that.
Had,
and
like,
I don't know.
Signature Elsie Silver writing.
But I wholeheartedly disagree with that. I do not think that it's changed at all because literally it's if Reckless and Heartless had a baby. It's the same vibes. Similar.
And like the single dads club, and now all the books are going to be about the single dads, and we get the brother in the next one.
Excited because I want to see him like co-parent with his ex-wife because they said they have a really good co-parent. Yeah. And I'm like, how? And I know she already has, I think she's already married and has a husband or something like that.
I don't remember.
So I'm very interested to see like the way that like their dynamics are. I love that. I love the complications of like family and how she changes things. Like it's different, you know?
I loved the daughter in Wild Love and how that was. The next one we both read.
Funny Story?
Yeah.
Oh my
so
God.
good. Like this is the one time where I wholeheartedly agree with the Emily Henry hype because I loved Beach Read and I haven't loved anything since. But I also think I just have to physically read her books because the only ones I've loved are the ones I've physically read and the ones that I've listened to, because she does do a lot of just like day to day.
And it can get boring when you're listening to that.
My least favorite was Book Lovers because I was like, literally nothing happens in this book.
See, I think I gave Book Lovers and Happy Place both 4.5 stars, and I haven't read Beach Read or People We Meet on Vacation. I want to this summer just because those are very summery reads.
I think you would like Beach Read.
this is the first one where I was like wholeheartedly 5 stars. Oh my God. People are like, oh, I don't like it with the whole like conflict at the end of the book.
Oh my God, it was so good.
I'm like, that is literally like the epitome of like right person, wrong time, of like outside things coming in. You know what I mean? Like keeping them apart, where he didn't want to like tie her down because of, you know, all the responsibilities.
Yeah.
You know how I do that. If you like this, read this book.
Yeah.
If you like funny story, read The Brightest Light of Sunshine.
Okay.
It has similar things.
Okay.
I mean, not like pitting it against each other, but it has similar things.
Like similar kind of themes.
But I loved it. Like the whole where she, you know, like she did things that definitely to some people can seem irrational, but like you get in her head and she's like working through it and self-reflecting and like,
yeah,
I know I made, you know, said the wrong things or did this, or I might have not made the best decision, but like her just happened to her like very recently. It like made her choose. Oh, so I could go on and on. Sorry. What was your next 5 star?
The Graham Effect by Elle Kennedy.
Finally. Jesus.
Okay, listen, I had it like early and I read half of it and then it's so long, but I re-listened to the beginning of the audio and then flew through. Oh my gosh. It's so good.
My Wife, wasn't that so good?
So good. And then seeing them in the Dixon role.
I want to read that. My library still doesn't have the audio. I checked.
It's so good.
I'm so annoyed, but I do want to read that one. I have high hopes for that one. Taming 7 was my 5 star, but
I'll get to that.
Boys of Toman. Love it. Oh,
yeah.
Aaron Gibbs here. So fucking cute. Anyway.
And then my last one for the month was Midnight of Ashes by Tessa Hale. Did you read that in April?
Yeah. Yeah. That was one of my 5 stars.
I'm
honestly,
so
that one's
last one.
That one's more, I think I told you that it was definitely more like, I don't have any notes because I haven't like caught up on my Goodreads, like typing it out. I just put the dates in. That one's more of like a 4.5 star just because I feel like
it's the middle book. So it's like, I feel like we didn't bridging.
Exactly. I feel like plot wise, we didn't like get anywhere like we did with the first one, but it was definitely more like character development.
For sure. Yeah.
With the why choose aspect. So like I liked it and I go back and forth. I'm like, was it 5 star like Twilight?
Because Easton, like that relationship really built.
Yeah, but he pisses me off. I was like, you could have avoided all of this shit if you would have just stuck with it since the beginning.
Add the drama.
Add the drama. I actually had one more 5 star. I had 2 more 5 stars. Say You Swear, which you did not like. I don't know. I listened to that book and I loved it. I had the best time with it.
Are you kidding me? The audiobook literally had me like banging my head because it was
I was listening to the audiobook and physically reading along.
It was like so boring for a lot of it.
I think I was coming off with a lot of like 4 stars. Like I had Chloe Lease, that was 4 stars. I had The Darkest Corner of the Heart by Lucina Coney. I was coming off of like a historical fiction, so that one was just like takes the top for the drama for me. So I was like, I think that pushed it over. But then I read King of Sloth at the end of the month.
I need to re-listen. Like I have the audiobook downloaded. I need to reread because we both got to beta read that.
Yeah,
but you never finished it. So
no, I had like the first, like what would be considered like the first 70% of the book.
Yes, it wasn't finished when you read it. When I read it, it was finished. Yeah, I read some good books already this month.
I've had 1 5-star read so far.
I've had 2 5-star reads this month.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, what is your first one?
Skies Over Caledonia.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Did you give that 5 stars?
I told you 4.5. We just had this conversation.
We've literally talked about like 20 books in this conversation. So more than 20.
Fair enough.
Okay. Oh yeah, because you said at the beginning with the name dropping stuff. Okay, now I remember that. And then The Dixon Rule by Elle Kennedy was so good. Oh my god. But I will say, if you do read that, like they're heavy triggers for abusive relationships because it's on page and it's like throughout the whole book. Yeah.
Okay. I think I want to go to Barnes & Noble tomorrow and pick up some books. Like
Throttled. I want the special edition. It's pink.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's pink.
Oh, I want the Throttled with the spines. I'm like, am I really going to buy another fucking Lauren Asher book?
I'm like, how many copies of a single book do I need?
To be fair, I don't actually have a physical copy of Throttled.
Okay, that's fair.
I only have Wrecked and Redeemed in the a pretty cover. So I do kind of want to buy it just because the spines line up and they have like the Formula One car on the spines.
I thought I had one in that series, but I don't see it.
I think you do somewhere.
Yeah. Also, I cannot find my copy of Honey Trap anywhere. And I'm like, where did you put that?
I didn't throw that one away. I wouldn't have done that. James. I think we probably put it behind some.
Yeah, I think so. And I'm like, I can't find it.
But what do you need that for?
I got my special edition. I was going to do like a transition reel.
Oh.
I just gave up.
My 5-star for this one so far is 4th Degree by Nikki Castle.
I still have to finish that. I'm like 35% in. I really, really like it. Oh my God, you're live tonight.
Yeah, at 8.
I hope you have fun.
Are you going to watch it?
I had to read my audiobook, but maybe I'll pop in and say hi.
Okay, whatever.
I also don't want to be spoiled.
Oh, fair. Yeah.
So.
But the tension literally from like page 5. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like it clicks. Like not insta love, but it's more like
But they're like so into each other and they're like, I just want to be around you. Oh, and so they like watch fighting tapes together and like
the puppy. Have you gotten to the puppy part?
The dog on the couch in the gym?
Yeah, that they like cuddle together. There's a part where they all cuddle together. It's very cute.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the part where he like sprayed her, like the joke, he's like, oh yeah, just do it this way. And busted out laughing. Was funny.
Yeah. Anyway, that was all our 5-star reads so far this month. My hand is very sweaty from holding my phone.
Shout out to Powerful by Lauren Roberts. And it wasn't like the next literary great thing, but Spookily Yours by Jen Chipman makes me want fall. And I want to like skip the summer so that I could just like
I will say the one that you shared on Instagram, I think it's like her new one coming out this year.
So she has a space one, and then she also has another Halloween one. It was probably the Halloween one. She has to get married to like the Demon King.
Yeah, I want to read that one.
I was like, wait a second.
That's giving me like Nightmare Before Christmas vibes, and I love that.
Oh, which I've never seen, but
yeah, no, that's cute. That's what I want. I did read Blood and Steel by Helen Schwerer. Probably saying that wrong.
Your face when you try to say that.
Schwerer. It's a weird name. And the audiobook says it differently, so I don't know really how to say it. But that one's a solid 4-star, but I'm like invested to where like my library hold just came in for the 2nd and the 3rd book in that series. So I'm very excited. I'm going to binge that later this month. But yeah, it's going pretty damn good.
Nice.
Yeah. Hopefully I have a lot of 5-star reads though.
Yeah. I mean, I've had some not so great, but it's fine.
Yeah. Like A Fate Inked in Blood, that's like 3.5 stars.
Ugh, I'm in it now. The beginning was very slow until we got to the first like battle scene, and then I liked it. And then it dips again. Romance had me intrigued though, so.
And then it dips because I could see everything coming from a mile away. I'm interested to see if you pick anything.
He's training her now.
I'm interested to see if you pick up anything.
Is it a standalone or is it going to be a series?
No, it's a saga. It's 4 books.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It literally says on the front cover, like, saga.
I read it without the dust jacket. Oh, Saga of the Unfated, book 1.
Yeah. Isn't saga meaning 4 stars?
I didn't think so, but you seemed very sure.
But I thought saga meant that it's 4 books.
Does it? I've never heard that, but maybe. I also don't read series.
Like, the Twilight Saga is 4 books.
Saga just means a long story of heroic achievement, especially a medieval prose narrative in Old Norse.
Okay, so Twilight Saga is wrong because it's not Old Norse, but okay. I swear I thought that meant 4 books, like automatically.
Twilight Saga.
I think I say that in my Patreon blog. I'm like, this is going to be $4. How is this going to be $4?
Let me look. How many books is a saga? The number of books in a saga can vary greatly depending on the story and its scope. It can consist in as few as 1 book or as many as a dozen or more.
I thought that meant 4. Anyway, this definitely ends on a cliffhanger, so it's going to continue. How many? I don't know. It's a saga.
Okay.
Whatever. All right.
Oh, but let us know your favorite book of the year so far in the comments.
Yeah, like your top 5 that you've had. If you've had a lot of 5 stars like us, because like favorite from each month, January through April. Let us know in the comments.
Sure.
Yeah. And don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter. I'll put it back. Just put it in the description box because I forgot it. I had to go in.
I was going to ask you.
I forgot it. And when it posted, I clicked on it to just see how it sounded, like, because it showed up in my subscription. And I was like, fuck, it's not in the it's not in the description box. So I had to go and do it. But yeah, no. But yeah, we have some giveaways planned maybe for the next one.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, I have one. Anyway, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, leave us a rating. Tell us what you thought of the podcast. If you made it this far.
What emoji? I didn't prepare this time.
I could tell you about to pick up your phone.
No, my phone's over here.
Star? Leave us a star.
Boring.
You didn't come up with it. It's your job.
Flower. Any flower. Do you know there's a lot of flowers? I was using it in our newsletter and I was like, oh, there's a lot of flower emojis.
I used the lavender one.
Yeah, I saw. I used I think a pink flower.
I also used a rose emoji for the newsletter last week. This week. Yeah. Whatever. The one that went out today.
So use a flower emoji. Whichever one you want.
Whatever flower emoji in the comment down below. Comments
and it's
down
spring,
below.
So
it's basically summer. It's hot as shit here. Anyway.
Hot, yeah. But
that's all we have.
Thank you so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed our Bookish Life and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye. You literally look at me this same exact